what does it mean to get pulled over when you're driving a car? And why is it correct to say I got pulled over and not I am pulled over? I'm Gordon Morse, your natural English coach, and I'm here to help. Anyone who drives a car knows that if you do something bad or dangerous while driving, you might get pulled over. Let's look more closely at that phrase, get pulled over. Our verb phrase is pull over. When we use this phrase in context, it means to pull your car over to the side of the road. We use the word pull to mean move the car when talking about driving. For example, if you are driving a friend to their house, they might say, pull over here to show you where they want to get out of the car once you have stopped. We'll explore more of this vocabulary around cars and driving in my next video. So, it makes sense that you can pull over a car as an action. But why do we say get pulled over? You might recognize this as the passive voice in English, a mode of speaking where an action or verb is done to you rather than you doing the action. You can oftentimes recognize it by the word get in front of the verb phrase, though this isn't used 100% of the time. So, if someone makes you pull over while you're driving, it's probably easy to guess who is making you do so, right? The police. If you're speeding, meaning driving at speed higher than legally allowed, a police car might see you and might turn on their lights and sirens, meaning you have to pull over. In other words, if you speed, you might get pulled over. And in some cases, you might even get arrested. While passive voice isn't used a lot in natural English conversation, and it's often considered bad form to use it excessively in writing, you'll probably start noticing plenty of English phrases that use passive form as you speak to more people. They're important and useful to know. You can publish a book all on your own. However, most times people talk about getting published, as in getting my book published by a large publishing company. You can hurt yourself, as in become injured in an accident. Using the passive form, you can say in natural English that you got hurt. At your workplace, you might get promoted if you do a good job. You can't promote yourself into a higher position, but your boss can promote you, thus you get promoted by them. On the other hand, if you do a bad job, you might get blamed. Someone else can blame you for doing a bad job. If you really did a bad job, you might even get fired from your workplace. Then you'll have to look for a new job. If you send in your resume, you might get rejected or you might get hired. As you can see, there are plenty of ways that natural English uses this passive form. By paying attention to it, you can also see how you do certain actions, or certain actions are done to you. Just by listening and observing closely, language can tell you a whole lot more than you expected. Now, let's have some practice time. Number 1. Do you know anyone who has gotten arrested? How did they get arrested? Number 2. What was the last job you got hired for? Number 3. Have you ever gotten fired from a job? Number 4. Have you ever gotten pulled over while driving? Why did you get pulled over? And number 5, did you ever get blamed for something you didn't do? If you have any questions about today's topic, or want me to make a video about another tricky part of English conversation, leave a comment below. Also, if you're interested in getting a totally free natural English assessment from me, follow the link to the right. I'll see you next time for another lesson.